Alright, welcome back everybody. Today I'm going to be playing Kingdom Classic, which actually sounds like it might be a little bit too loud. Let's turn that down a bit. Alright. Actually, let's do that for the music too. Alright. So, this is a game I ended up getting for free at some point. I don't exactly remember when. But I recently saw a streamer playing it, and it reminded me that it is actually a really fun game. It's very simple. It's one of the few games I've known that can function with such a small amount of controls. Like, literally the only controls in this game are the left and right and down arrows, as well as escape for the menu. But you'll get pretty much the gist of it as I play it. And then I do have a couple different things I want to talk about today. We'll get to that in a moment. First I want to make sure that I get some money. Yep, there's some money. And there's camp. So let's get this fire going, hire these two people. And now we can hire blacksmiths. Why did you not pick up the money? And archers. I'm going to hire a blacksmith and immediately build some walls so that we are protected from the night, because during the night there are like little raiding monsters that will come by, and the whole point of this game is to just build up your kingdom and make your kingdom safe. Now, in order to do that, supposedly you're able to stop where the enemies spawn from. I do not know how to do that, but I do know that I can come over here and recruit homeless people to my cause. They will slowly make their way back into my keep, where I can employ them. For the first night, I'm not gonna hire any archers because I don't have any more money. But yeah, the walls will at the very least prevent the enemies from coming in. The first night's usually pretty generous. And these guys are painfully slow. But yeah, the only real lose condition in this game is if you lose your crown, because the enemy their entire purpose is that they steal from you. So if they hit you, they'll knock a gold out of your purse and take that. If they hit one of your people, they'll take away their tools, and eventually they'll turn them back into homeless people, take away their last gold. And then if they hit you and you don't have any money, then they take your crown. And when you have no crown, you are no queen, you are no king, the game ends. So it's pretty interesting like that, and the world is randomly generated in that there is a certain number of set pieces, but they can be positioned in different places at different distances, which can screw you over or be really helpful sometimes. And here's the inaugural gun! Ugh. So yeah, now you really know that you're part of my video. Sorry about that if it's loud, by the way. I mean, it is what it is. Let's see where anything's coming. It's halfway through the night and I don't hear anybody beating on the walls. Also, I hate that my horse has some. There's one of them. So yeah, they just have these weird purpley faces that I can't tell if they're just eyeballs or what. But you can recruit archers, obviously, and they do the majority of the killing. At least until... Ooh, random burp for some reason. At least until you can get, trebuchets later? Not trebuchets, siege weapons, I guess. And those take out large crowds, and I'm hoping that I can play intelligent enough to actually get that far this time. I've been impatient the last couple of times. Also, each night you collect taxes, so a little bit of King Richard going there. I think I am going to start recruiting some archers, because they can hunt for me, and hunting also is a good early generation of money, because there's a nice group of rabbits there. And I'm just going to explore out this way and see what all there is available to me. There's usually a couple camps close by. But this is what I'm interested in. I want to know where this guy is, because you can pay him 4 gold and he will deliver 4 tools to your kingdom. Seems to be random which stall he goes to. So he could deliver 4 hammers, he could deliver 4 bows, or I think there's also size, and there may be something else. This is the portal the enemies come through. It only activates at night, so at the moment it's not active. I have no idea what the fuck this is, but you can upgrade it from bronze to silver. Try not to use up my horse's stamina too much. And there's a couple of different things you can build, like mills and farmland and stuff like that generates a lot of money. It's looking like there isn't a whole lot this way. There's already the second portal. Sometimes you can encounter... Yeah, there we go. There's some money. So there's a free chest, and that's actually the end of the world. When you start to see this like empty crag, it eventually ends in just a rock wall. So that's the end of the game world that way. So I'm gonna start heading back. Let my horse recover, and hopefully if night comes I can run past those portals. At least I have enough money that if I do have to trot, I can lose some money and not my crown. But it is risky to explore like this. And you can see the sun in the background dipping, so I still got some time. Alright, horse's stamina is back. I'm gonna wait till I get to this portal. See, now it's active. Alright, now I'm gonna... Yep, so I lost 1 gold there. And hopefully I can get past the second portal. I think my horse is gonna run out of stamina before that, so I'm gonna stop sprinting for a second. It could be a good use of money to purchase this guy. Alright, I only have 3 gold now, and I really need to get back to town as soon as possible. Okay, so I was past the other portal. Cool. Oh, I never rebuilt that. That could have been bad. Alright, so hopefully... Oh, see, look at all the money my hunter generated there. But anyway, hopefully that merchant, when he comes here, he'll deliver bows, because I found that having a large amount of archers and not building towers has been pretty good for me. Do I need to rebuild? No, this other tower's good. But if he delivers hammers, then at least I have an early workforce. And it's going to take him a while to get to town, but I know at least one shadow person is going to come this way. I don't even know what those enemies are technically called. But at least I have a couple archers that will be able to take him out. I don't think it increases the amount of money that you generate from taxes either. I think you just kill them and that's it. They just go away. Maybe nothing's coming tonight. Maybe because they already stole gold from me, they're good. Alright, so he's going to deliver hammers for me, so all these people that are currently unemployed are going to buy hammers. Which is fine. It just means that I can save my money for bows. Which actually, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and buy a couple more of those, because I really want the archers to generate more resources. How much is it to upgrade my camp? It's only 3. Let's go ahead and do that. And I'm not going to upgrade the walls just yet. We're still pretty good on defenses. But let's go explore a little bit this way, not super far. Definitely not all the way to the ends of the world, unless we come across the horse. There is a horse that you can purchase. I don't remember how much he costs, but he has a lot more stamina than the starting horse. Not that this is a bad horse, it's just that he gets tired very quickly. It is what it is. Let's go ahead and recruit these guys because I have money. And this is, I believe, the archer shrine. So there's 2 shrines in the world. There's one for buildings, one for archers. That these 3 flame indicators light up as you spend money on it, and they give you a buff overnight, depending on how many of those indicators are active. So now I've got the new horse. And so the archer one increases their accuracy, and the build one seems to increase the defensiveness of towers and such, which is nice. Especially if you're like going a pseudo pacifist run. Alright, so that's active, so I'm already gonna head back. Not gonna bother recruiting these guys because they'll most likely get hit by shadow people on the way home, even though it's halfway through the day. They walk very slow. And they would just end up losing their gold and become homeless again anyway, so. But yeah, it's a pretty good investment later on in the game to purchase those on rough nights. because being able to kill things much faster definitely pays off, obviously. There are some late game enemies which are quite insanely powerful. Uh, the furthest I've made it, I think, is 29 days, and there's an achievement for making it 100 days, which I don't envision me getting anytime soon. Oh yeah, and that's another thing you can do is lure or drive deer back towards home for easy hunting, which is nice. So these guys should have been killing rabbits. Yeah, there you go. So there's a little bit of money. You can also pay gold to chop down trees, and interestingly enough, your blacksmiths do that with their hammers. Kudos to them, I guess, for managing to take down a tree with a hammer. That's something, alright. I think I have enough time to build both of these walls. They do build them pretty fast, especially when you have two people hammering at it. So that should be an upgraded wooden wall, which will last even better. I didn't need to do that right now, but I wanted to. Good. Also, my sigil today is a hazard sign, apparently, with a squirrel. That is also randomized, and you can change your character in the initial loading screen, but because my computer is pretty decent, I tend to load the game very quickly. Also, as you upgrade your kingdom from this campfire, the amount of taxes that you collect overnight also decreases. And as you can see, their accuracy is not particularly good. But it only takes one shot to kill these guys. Later on there will be ones with masks, which take a couple more shots. And then those harder enemies, like I suggested. Oh, so this poor guy, because I upgraded my kingdom, is outside of my wall. But thankfully merchants are invulnerable. They cannot be taken down by the shadow people. Apparently that hunter was just holding on to a lot of money. Finally hit up all those bunnies, I guess. I don't want to start purchasing the size just yet, but I do want to find that traveling merchant again. Every, I think, day or two he restocks, like after you purchase him. Let's get some more people back home. And he'll just show up out here again. And now that I have a better horse, yep, there he is. I should be able to reach him faster. Ah, I shouldn't have paid off one of those hobos. If that gold is still lying there. Nope, he took it. Alright. Well, maybe I can get these deer home in time to get them hunted. Oh, no. Maybe there was a rabbit home that they managed to kill in time? Either way, I need one more gold in order to get those. Like, it's significantly more valuable to do that, to pay the merchant instead of buying the tools yourself. Because you pay him 4 gold, you get 4 tools, whereas if I were to buy 4 bows, each bow is 2 gold apiece. So that's already half of the cost. And then the hammers are 3 gold apiece, which is insane. And if you saw the size, they're 5 gold apiece. But like every day or two you get 5 gold from your farms as you build those. So it pays off over time. You know, a standard resource management kind of deal. Once I get back home safely tonight, maybe then I will be in a comfortable enough place where I can start talking about autism issues. Pay this guy off. Alright, now let's get back behind the safety of my walls. And today I wanted to talk about some of the other interesting things that happened in my childhood which prevented me from getting an earlier diagnosis. And these are definitely very interesting stories and highly unusual. But it may be the case for other people, you never know. There's a lot of things that can happen in a childhood that can prevent you from having an early diagnosis. In particular, moving a lot, because obviously no one is able to observe you for a long period of time to see that you have strange behaviors. But I think first and foremost, a lot of people, when they think of child autism, they think of children that don't socialize a whole lot, or have delayed speech, or, you know, things along those lines. Which certainly was the case for me, but because of this story that I'm about to share with you, was completely attributed to something else. And I know I said I don't usually do towers, but I want to because I have the money, and I may as well. I don't have enough money for that one, but at least I have one tower now. I don't know if it actually improves their accuracy or not, or if their damage gets improved, whatever. Anyway, so when I was born, and apparently this happens to like 1 in 4 children, I was born deaf. Not like permanently deaf. I had extra swelling inside my ear canals, which apparently happens pretty often, where you can get an ear infection basically in the womb, and when you're born, your ears are just sealed shut. Um, and obviously that can easily be fixed either by implanting tubes in the ears or waiting for a safe time to use blood thinners on a child. Obviously you don't want to do that with a newborn. And even, an infant, you don't want to give them blood thinners. Ooh, I got size. Yes. Oh, that's so good. And I immediately got 4 of those, so I'm definitely going to expand my kingdom. But yeah, so I had no hearing, or I guess technically, like if you stuck your fingers in your ears and talked underwater, that's probably similar to what it would have sounded like. I'm not going to expand that way actually, because that's where those camps are, and that's good source of people early on. So let's start expanding this way. In order to expand, I need to start cutting down trees. What's I saying? Oh yeah, so yeah, I was born deaf, and I am obviously not deaf now. Well, I say obviously, but you wouldn't actually know that unless you knew me in person. But I ended up getting my hearing back in the strangest way possible. But because I was born deaf, I naturally had delayed speech. I did not talk much. I didn't hear very well, obviously, and um, yeah, it was just that's one sign of autism that basically just got completely negated even before you start considering moving so frequently. So delayed speech was definitely something, and I think a large part of my strong interest in writing came from that as well, because I was functionally deaf for, I want to say, probably like 2 years almost, which is around the time that the language center of a child's brain is developing. And because of that, I kind of latched onto written language as something I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed reading. I really enjoyed writing at a very young age, and I think I wrote my first actual like coherent short story back in like elementary school, like just out of what is it, like preschool and such. Like I was pretty active in that space. So I can build a mill here, but I don't have the money. Alright. Oh, didn't mean to throw that money down. Also, for some reason, my frame rate just dipped significantly. I wonder if my recording is storing in the right place. Who cares? It's a simple game. It'll still look alright. Alright, so yeah, now he's farming here. Well, no, that's just reeds. I don't know if he's actually farming that. Doesn't look like he is. So I do need to expand a little bit further and build that mill, I believe. And I wasted some archers building these towers. So I think I will need to go recruit some people. So yeah, I ended up getting my hearing back in the strangest way possible. I was playing tag with my brother. We lived in, I believe, Florida at the time, just off of a little pond, and yeah, I couldn't really hear well, apparently. But for some reason, I stopped running and chasing, and was doing what was the equivalent of listening out, just looking around trying to figure out something. We don't know what. And it turns out I had stopped and was standing ankle deep in a fire ant nest in a fire ant hill, which if you've ever been stung by just a couple fire ants, you know that is agony. Like it burns a lot. And yeah, it's just an inconvenient little sore. But if you're standing ankle deep in a nest and you're like 2, you can imagine how quickly I got swarmed and the agony that I was experiencing at that age. I can't imagine because I was too young. I don't remember it. But needless to say, that probably should have killed me. Like, from what I've been told, I had enough bites and stings on my body that if I had been allergic, I would absolutely have been dead. And if I was an adult, like, even that would have been enough to send me into anaphylactic shock, which thankfully it didn't. Um, but as a result of all those, uh, I had intense swelling all over my body. And naturally, the only way that you can prevent a child from having serious issues from that is to give them blood thinners. And as a result of all the swelling going down from all that medication, the swelling went down in my ears as well. And in a weird way, those ants kind of forced the doctor's hands and cured my hearing. Um, so yeah, at that age, like that's when I finally got my hearing back in the weirdest way possible. So I guess I kind of owe ants for that. I thanked them by, blowing up fireworks on anthills throughout most of my childhood, or magnifying glass to the ants, the stereotypical stuff that kids do. I'm not very thankful for it. It was a painful experience. And as a result of that, because my hearing was so delayed, and because it had never really been exposed to loud noises, I had incredibly sensitive hearing for a very long time. And that's another symptom of Asperger's and autism, is having hypersensitivity to various stimuli, which sound is definitely one of them. That's why whenever I get incredibly stressed, I prefer very loud music to drown out audible stimuli, because it's way too overwhelming for me. Like, I need to be in a familiar soundscape in order to relax. How close am I to an enemy portal? Okay, good. There's still a camp and then an enemy portal. Alright, so it's not too bad. So, yeah, that immediately covered up the hypersensitivity to stimuli, as well as the delayed speech. Like, it all just made sense. It fit in as a puzzle piece. Like, of course you would have these issues given your childhood. Look at what the hell you went through. And as a result of that, and all the moving, like, I kept to myself. I listened to music nonstop. In fact, my mom actually tells me that even when I was like completely newborn in the hospital, whenever I would fuss while we were there, she would take the speaker from the TV in her room, because they had, a little portable speaker so that you could hear it more easily without interrupting other people in the room. If they had multiple patients in the room, she would take that and put that in the crib beside me, and that would calm me down because I could listen to the sounds of the TV. And growing up, like, I'm pretty sure there were less than like maybe 10% of the nights that I spent without a radio or a CD player or a tape player or something with headphones in my bed right beside or underneath my pillow. So, oh geez, that is a huge group of enemies. Yep, they were busting through my walls. And unfortunately, I don't have any archers, so hopefully the night will pass long enough. I'm just gonna stand right here because I have a feeling they're gonna tear through that wall pretty quickly too. And I don't have the money to upgrade this wall. Ooh. That's gonna be rough. I'm gonna lose some blacksmiths. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm just gonna keep my distance. Are they gonna take that wall down? Oh, the archers. Okay, good. Well, that sucked. That's what you get for for not upgrading your walls. All right, so I have a lot of people and very few archers, is what I'm hearing. So I need to invest in you. That's 2 more bows. It's not going to be enough, but it's something. And this is one of the reasons why I don't like buying towers, because it takes your archers completely out of the game, essentially. This is the furthest wall that I can, and I'm going to buy you. And hopefully I can find that. There should be a chest this way as well. so I can come back and upgrade that wall and maybe buy some more archers. I don't know. Either way, we're not doing great if there's going to be another wave like that. At least from that direction. Here's my old horse. Hi, buddy. Probably not going to be able to make it to a chest in time. Let's see. So continuing on with the delayed diagnosis, like, you would think after about 10 years or so, you know, I was 2 at the time, so by 12, 13, 14 or so, you would start to be able to piece it together. I mean, yeah, I'm still moving, so I'm not super social. I'm writing a lot. I'm not talking a lot. I mean, that's okay. I talk enough. I function well enough in school, and in social situations, there should be enough signs that maybe you can start getting a diagnosis. But that's also when we were finally financially well off enough that we could afford a computer, and I started becoming, you know, an e-personality. Like, I was able to communicate and create social bonds online, which was a lot easier for me. And right around, I think I was 17 or 18. I'm not sure which. Hold on, let me stop and think for a sec. No, actually, I think I was 19 or 20. I went to visit some friends in Newfoundland, and while I was there, another fun little medical issue arose in that uh, there are many conditions that run in my family, but the one of particular interest that I want to talk about is thyroid issues. My mom has Hashimoto's thyroiditis, which is a very slow burn way. Like, her thyroid basically just slowly kills itself because it's an autoimmune disease, and her immune system doesn't recognize that her thyroid is actually hers. And in my case, I got the other one. There's basically two primary thyroid diseases you can get. One is Hashimoto's that she has, and it takes decades for your thyroid function to decrease and eventually go away. But in my case, I got Graves' disease, which is very rapid. Like, most people who get Graves' disease usually have their thyroid either removed or irradiated out of them as a treatment method, or they start taking thyroid blockers, like hormone blockers, to reduce thyroid function after about a year. That was when it first really started to kick off for me, and like get really bad. And my metabolism shot up. I had a tremendous amount of energy, and because of that energy, I was able to force through a lot of the awkwardness and issues that come with autism. And it further obscured the fact that I had, you know, autism basically. And yeah, most people get that treated in a year. I actually didn't end up getting mine treated until probably about 3 or 4 years ago. And I don't have enough money for you now, I bet. Yep. Well, may as well hire some people. And hopefully my hunters will be able to kill 3 gold worth of animals, so that I can come back and buy you, and hopefully I will get bows, because I need more archers. See if I can drive this deer back all the way to camp. Kill him! Thank you. But yeah, once, it's perfect. Let's go get some tools. Once that was diagnosed, like, pieces started to fit a little bit together, and interestingly enough, it wasn't until, you know, I actually got that addressed, I got my thyroid removed. Well, not removed, so it wasn't surgically removed. I did go with the radiation treatment, which is kind of fun in and of itself. I can tell that story eventually at some point. But yeah, I got that taken care of, and once my energy level started to tank because I no longer had that metabolism, and now I was back to a normal, like, 2,000 calorie a day energy level, Like, seriously, at one point I was up to, I want to say, probably like 4,000 to 6,000 calories a day was my energy level. And because of the crash that came after that, that's when the anxiety buildup really started to hit, and that's when I realized there's something wrong with me, and that's when I decided to start seeing my psychologist, and eventually got that diagnosis. So yeah, that's an example, at least in my mind, of how very simple, issues can obscure the fact that you have, a mental condition which historically, like, it should have been diagnosed very early in me, and it just never was. And I don't fault anyone for that. I mean, that it is just what it is. Actually, I have enough money to make that mill back here. Let's do that. Yeah, that should get some farms going. Farms need money. Yeah, I should have enough to actually fully upgrade this. Yeah, those hunters are paying off. Let's get you a wall as well. I actually have no idea how long this recording has been going on, but at the very least, I believe now my farmers should be put to work, because they should be able to build plots around that now. I'm just going to go ahead and upgrade these walls. I have no idea which tools I got. I have a feeling he probably gave me hammers. So we are starting to get the masked guys, and they're probably going to break through a wall or two back there because I don't have many archers still. Shit. I don't even have enough to buy more. Merchant, why are you screwing me over? You're screwing me over in the weirdest way. So these guys will actually camp out for the night here instead of back at the main camp. Okay, good. So the archers were able to take care of the wave. Good. So it's very important that you protect them on all sides, because it's very expensive to replace those guys. But they should start farming now, which will generate more money, which means that I can upgrade my camp. Do I want to upgrade my camp, or do I want... I want more archers. And then I have enough to hire one person. Or build another wall. Or cut down a tree. Trees usually pay for themselves. I don't want to do it right here though, because I want to keep these two camps close by as a source of people early on. So I'm gonna not. I'm just gonna hire one more person, let him become an archer, and let this ride for another night. And hopefully we'll get... Yeah, so these guys are starting to build farm plots. Each farm plot generates like 5 or 6 gold every couple of days. I'm not sure exactly. I've been trying my best to not spoil this game, because normally I habitually like research everything there is. Like I said, I love iterating and finding the best possible builds as possible. Like, it took me a while to figure out what those shrines even did exactly. I was able to guess it, and my girlfriend was more impatient, so she actually looked it up and she confirmed it for me when I asked. But there is an enemy later in the game that I don't know if he happens on a guaranteed day, or if it happened because I expanded too far, too greedy. Yeah, there's a lot of things I don't yet understand about this game. And I'm thinking of picking up the sequels as well, because right now there's the Steam Halloween sale going on, so they're actually quite cheap. And I love the art style of this game. I love the simplicity of it. It really is just like playing a fantasy novel. It's beautiful. It's just charming and nice. And you don't get that always in a game. You know, there's a lot of games that I play that feel hollow after about an hour or two. And I could definitely see myself playing this a lot, because I want to figure out how to make this kingdom safe, and I have absolutely no idea how to do that. I have expanded once all the way to a portal. There were 3 trees in front of the portal, and I don't know if the game just bugged out or what, but my blacksmiths would not cut down those trees, so we could not expand any further in that direction. And I could not figure out what to do about that portal, which I'm guessing is why they wouldn't go near those trees if it wasn't a bug. Either way, yeah, the game was just fucked. So yeah, already my farms are paying for themselves. Stop collecting my money, that's for me. There we go. And also a neat thing is if you collect too much money, your pouch does overflow, and at that point you'll just start dropping the money. I mean, I could start upgrading these towers. If you upgrade the towers too far, they actually take 3 archers. I also don't want to upgrade my camp just yet, because it'll reduce the amount of taxes I collect overnight. So I want to get more archers, more people. More archers, more people. As many archers as I can get my hands on. And then we can start expanding the kingdom. Come on. Yeah. Anything coming tonight? Actually, yeah, it looks like they already did. And they tore down this wall a little bit. Which means I can safely go out here and bring you home, because there shouldn't be anything else coming this way because they already defeated the wave. So that means I can hire you guys. And I have made it 10 days. And maybe the traveling merchant is out this way. Usually spawns pretty far away. Which is fair. I mean, he has to go back and restock somewhere, right? Yay, he's restocked. And I have no idea what that is still. Let's pay you gold. That takes 7. I do know that at least I'm pretty sure that is what unlocks higher tier defenses. So I'm guessing it's a general kingdom upgrade, but I don't know. That I haven't confirmed that like by checking a wiki or anything. So I'm hoping that guy will deliver bows this time. I do not need more farmers. I have all the farmers I need. I guess it would be nice to have the exercise on hand just because it's a huge investment, but I need the archers. I don't need more blacksmiths. Alright, so that's a decent amount of money. Maybe I should start going and upgrading some of my walls. I need to rebuild this wall still. Let's put these guys to work. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just do some general kingdom maintenance. Oh, farmer, thank you. Hunter, thank you. Texas! Let's rebuild that wall. Let's leave that tower alone because I don't have enough archers yet. But yeah, I can start building stone walls if I were to go back and activate that one thing. I think maybe I'll cut down some more trees this way. I don't necessarily want to expand, but I do want to open this up for expansion. And again, I don't know what triggers certain events in the game. Maybe I'll come and get you guys too. Yeah. Maybe I'll expand up to the point where I'm at that camp. That way, either side of the kingdom, I have people that I can access. Go, and you gave me a little bit extra. That's nice. Thank you very much. Let's see where that merchant is. The music is really nice and relaxing and subtle in this as well. Oh, there's already more people here. Is there another one, or is it just the one? Alright, perfect. Come on, merchant. Maybe in the morning or after the wave. Like, you don't have to wait until morning. Once the wave is defeated, the portal does deactivate. So maybe if anything's coming this way, once the wave is defeated, I'll go out and activate that one shrine that does the upgrade. You know what? I'll buy this as well. Fuck it. Alrighty. Definitely do not want to buy size. Please go past the size to the bows. I'm hoping he... No! I was gonna say I was hoping that he alternates what he gives us. But that's okay. Alright, so... Looks like I have a good amount of archers over here, so that wave should be taken care of. And now it's safe for me to go. And then when I get back to my kingdom, I'll be able to collect all those wonderful taxes. That also means that Is there a second person there? There is not. Those guys can safely make it back home. One there. So yeah, once the wave is defeated, the portal deactivates, so you're all good. I don't know what this is. I just know that it unlocks better things, and it builds itself. It's not like, you know, blacksmiths need to come out or anything. It just turns silver. Whatever that means. I don't know. Another poor person. Come. Let's see if we can drive this deer all the way home, get some free gold out of him. I know in the sequels they changed up what the merchant does as well. Apparently he just kind of becomes like a traveling chest as opposed to giving you free tools, which I get. I mean, the whole free items thing is kind of overpowered in my mind because not having to pay, what would it be? 4 scythes was 20 gold worth for 4. That is a huge benefit. And I actually have a really large population of people at this point. So I guess I can afford to buy my own bows, I guess. I don't want to, but I can. You know, I could have saved half of that. So once some more of those peasants get here, they'll be able to turn themselves into archers, and I'll have a good army, essentially. I may actually be able to start, like, affording to send people into towers. I don't want to expand too far though. Like, I really got greedy with that the first time I played and ended up costing me. I think another disadvantage to deforesting without expanding is that it will prevent like deer and rabbits from spawning closer to your base. But it is also nice to be closer to these shrines so that you can activate them safely for when night comes. Let's see if I can get on the other side of this deer and drive him back home. Alright. I don't really need to do this, but it's just something to do so that I'm not just standing around recording nonsense while my queen just stands in town and holds a torch to people's faces. I actually don't know what time of night it is. It may behoove me to go back home. Do I have a gold? I do. Okay, good. And they screwed up killing that horse. Or deer. That's fine. Alright, they're still out. Like, that's a good sign as well. When it is nightfall, they come running back. So now I can't upgrade these walls because I upgraded that one thing. It costs 6 gold to turn that into a stone masonry wall. Which, alright, looks like you collected some money, so that farm paid off. I don't know if I have enough time to upgrade this wall. It's already nightfall, so I'm not going to risk it. The final tier upgrade actually builds itself without taking down the walls, but these first few tiers actually removes the wall and then builds it from scratch, so if enemies were to come, they would just storm right through all of your people and take all their tools. Yeah, it screws you over. Maybe after this night I'll call it a night, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm pretty sure I've been recording for well over like 40 minutes at this point. Probably well over 40 minutes. I'm trying to keep these videos from being too long and rambly, but that is just kind of like how I function on a day-to-day basis, so it is what it is. I try not to go over an hour. I think that should be my ultimate goal. Also, if for any reason this channel does pick up, I seriously doubt it will. But you never know. I mean, YouTube's a finicky beast like that. If it were to pick up, I have no intention of monetizing this channel. This is purely for my mental health as well as offering assistance to other people and hopefully entertaining. And I don't want to do this like professionally. I just want to do this for fun and to have that sense of community and to help other people. So never expect that. Alright. Yep, looks like we had a good night. Let's start upgrading our walls, block people out. You know, granted this channel is all about me trying to tear down my walls and invite people in. I am absolutely building some walls because I need security. Although I may go get some more peeps. Are there some more? Yes, there are. Alms for the poor. There you are, sirs. 2 more? Yes, please. Welcome to my kingdom. And I have 1 gold coin left. Alright, and my horse is tired. So I think that's a good stopping point. Once I get back behind the safety of my wall, I can pause this and see how the video's done. This has been Kingdom Classic. There are 2 others, I believe, Kingdom New Lands and Kingdom 2 Crowns, that change up a little bit on the game formula and just in general polish the game and make it nicer. And I do look forward to playing those at some point. Um, as always, though, with these videos, if you ever have any mental issues or are suffering at all, please reach out to anyone in your life, whether they're friend or foe. Like, there's a good chance that they'll understand and they'll be more than happy to listen. Reach out to adults, reach out to an animal and just comfort them, and they'll comfort you. Whatever you've got to do, make it through the day and try to talk to somebody. I promise you, no matter how alone you feel, it is far more common than you think. And if all else fails, I'm here. Drop me a message. I'll do what I can to support you. All right. Love you guys. Thanks for watching.